Well, we basically had a DNA day at locals today. This deck finally got first place. Hello everyone, thank you for checking out Team Forbidden's YouTube page. As I, Scott, otherwise known as Summit the Fanatic. We basically had a DNA day at locals where we each ran DNA decks between the four of us. Only 2 rounds, unfortunately, but I beat regular Imperial and Alteress. And Eric was running Chaosmon. Unfortunately, he didn't do too great, but the point is, you're here for Virus Imperial. What does this have over Blue-Green Imperial? Blue-Green has a little bit more synergy, is a little bit better on memory control, but if you get the right pieces for Virus, this deck just goes ham. It's kind of interesting how the Blue-Green is now completely focused on Imperialdramon, whereas before they were like split between the Imperialdramons and the Dino Beamons for like the longest time. Now the red-purple one, we have this boy, and this just makes things a ton better. This thing can come out and steal wins out of nowhere. Same with the promo Shadramon. Anyways, without further ado, we're already a minute and a half in, or depending on how Andrew cuts up the intro. We're already a minute and a half in at the time of recording, so let's go ahead and get into the deck profile of the deck that won Digimon Locals today. So I was trying this out from the beginning with the purple Labramon egg. The idea behind that was you'd draw a card and you'd get into your pieces a lot faster. Eventually, I wound up going with my boy BT14 Koromon for the egg. The reason for that being is both of the main Imperialdramon rookies digivolve from it for 0. They can digivolve from red or purple. And this Wormmon digivolves from it for 1. Not ideal, but I already know what's going to happen with this deck. Next month, we're finally getting a purple Minimon. And these are basically just going to come out for that. It's going to suck not having some of the card draw, but generically, unfortunately, this is the best egg, just because this can't digivolve on top of purple, and this is one of your best rookies. Into the 3s. So we've already touched on one of them, so we're going 4 copies of Vmon from EX4. I tried the one out from BT16. It just never came up as much as I would like. It's basically got the same inheritable. This one, you on play, you trash a card with Imperialdramon in its name or free in its traits, and you draw 2. Wormmon, run the errated one, just so people don't try to rule shark. You reveal top 3, add a purple or red card with free in the traits, or a card that is Imperialdramon in its name, and then you trash 1 such card among them, and then you bottom deck any other remaining cards, and then all turns it's got retaliation. Basically, you want to kill me? I'm taking you down with me. You know, it's purple shtick. It's been purple shtick since BT2. And our last rookie, we're going full in on the Wormmons. This guy is so good. He is so good. Cannot wait to have the Minimon so I can digivolve into him for free and not go 1 on top of a Koromon. But if you have to, do it, because this guy is so good. The inheritable sucks. It doesn't really matter. It's probably not going to come up. But the point of this Wormmon is, if it's your turn, start your main phase, or on play, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a level 4 Digimon card with the Insectoid or free trait Vermin Trash with the evolution cost reduced by 1. That includes him or any of your other 3s. And that comes up with the Davis Kenton Tamer down the line. That's it. 12 rookies. Don't need any more. Again, tried the Vmon. It just didn't come up as much as I wanted. So we went 4-4-4 on the rookies. Next, getting into our armors, because this is basically an armor deck, we have 4 copies of the promo Shadramon. Unfortunately, if you don't have this card, you can't really play this deck effectively. This thing is just so good. First thing to note, it's red-purple, so it works for all of your DNAs. It digivolves from 2 for Wormmon, so if you're digivolving into this from the trash, you're just digivolving into this for 1, which is fantastic. And then on digivolve, you can play a Vmon or Wormmon from your trash suspended without paying the cost. And as an inheritable, on deletion, doesn't matter if it's by your effect or your opponent's effect or whatever, you can play a Vmon or Wormmon from your trash suspended without paying the cost. This thing sets up your the rookie, and you go ham from there. For the DNA, we won 3 of the Flamedramon and 3 of the Shadedramon. Self-explanatory. This just lets you either DNA automatically or just digivolve the other one straight from the trash. Be sure that you have enough memory for whatever you're trying to do with your stuff. And we have one last level 4 armor, and that is Sethmon. Because sometimes you need to get rid of, those things that stop you from playing Digimon by effects, like Pillamon. And this is an armor. It's also red-purple, and it digivolves from Vmon for 2. It'd be 1 if you're digivolving a Vmon from the trash with the Wormmon effect. It's just good. It helps you have the right pieces to go into your 5s. Next, into the 5s, we run 4 copies of BT16 Dinobemon. What can be said about this card? This card is broken. It is just straight up broken. There's a reason this is the 4 of in the deck. Might as well just get into it. We're running 2 of the old Dinobemon and 2 of the old Imperialdramon. For any of you who have seen this deck, I believe I put the profile on my channel. It was originally 4 of these and 4 of these. This one gets you back either or. Just be sure to have the inheritable for, whichever thing you want for your Imperialdramon to go off of. Sometimes you don't have the dragon mode, so we have some other stuff that we'll get into with the 6s. But just getting into the Dino B, what does this thing do? When digivolving, if you DNA'd, you can play a level 5 or lower Digimon with a free trait from your trash without paying the cost. Then one of your Digimon may gain Rush and attack a player. So this is not the most up-to-date version of the card. The gaining Rush and attacking a player is optional. And the other thing it has is it's got that new partition keyword, which is basically bad version of Alter S. That's basically all it is. It has to be removed from the field by an effect. This basically just makes it so, okay, you want to get rid of my dragon mode outside of running it by dragon mode or fighter mode outside of running it by battle. It makes it so it's like, all right, you want to not delete me and give me my stuff. Fine, I'll get 2 bodies out if this thing gets killed by an opponent's effect. Self-explanatory. This one just brings back any of the other one. Depending on what's in your trash and what you want, you can, if you have to, summon this or this and then rush. And then if this dies, you get the appropriate body out and you can hopefully continue to combo after that point. But yeah, this one has partition on your 6s. This one lets you attack unsuspended, which is really great with Dragon Mode potentially wrapping the board. This one gives you some extra security attack. Basically what it comes down to. The new Dino B basically just makes this deck. Alright, next up, into our 6s, we run 4 copies of EX4 Imperialdramon Dragon Mode. I have seen some lists run 3. I don't know where they get to the justification. You always want to see this card, because if you have everything set up, this is always going to be live. You can digivolve for 4 from any purple, but you're never going to do that. You're going to DNA. And then when you DNA, your opponent has to delete all of the Digimon except 1, and then you get to Blitz. And then when you're attacking, you get 2000 DP, and then you can digivolve into a fighter mode for its cost. First off, into the fighter modes, we have 2 copies of the fighter mode from EX3, and I've seen this pop up occasionally too. God. Some people just run 4 copies of this. I don't understand. It's good, but you never want to hard digivolve into this. You always want to go into this because you can bottom deck the dragon mode to, stop all the good stuff. I was going to switch this out before recording the video, but I forgot. because after the video, I wound up pulling the alt art. We have one copy of Imperialdramon Fighter Mode Ace. Digivolves from Dragon Mode for a cost of 2. This thing does not say which colors. This also helps with the Davis and Ken Tamer, because you can gain a memory off of digivolving into this thing. And this thing is just the best other fighter mode out there right now. You can run the 12 one if you like. I don't have any copies of the 12 one is my issue. But the issue, one of the issues with this deck is this can't digivolve on top of your Imperialdramons or your Dynabemons, because they're not blue or green. So I was running into a problem with another ace to run in this deck, and I eventually wound up going full on dark side. Sometimes you just have a single stack, and you need to be able to just kill Tamers and have some more offensive pressure. Grand Quagmon Ace does that. It's essentially the natural evolution of Dynabemon. So yeah, this thing is just nuts. The second best ace card in the set, apart from, you know, the Vikemon. Into the Tamers, we're running 4 copies of Analog Youth. Until this deck gets a specific memory setter, you run no less than 4. This thing just helps you out so much. Level 5 dies, get memory, helps set up your trash. We're also running 3 copies of the new Davis and Ken. This thing helps you play your Warmons and your Vmons for free. Gets you up free extra bodies. The second effect isn't going to come up unless you go into Grand Quagga or the fighter mode. But basically, it'll help you be a little more memory efficient. No room for a memory setter in here. You can run the tie if you want, but considering this and these aren't red, it's not really going to help you too much. So that's my reasoning on that. The only other memory setter I could think of potentially running is matte, maybe. Either of the purple mattes. It's up to your personal preference on that one, but these are the only Tamers that I have. Deck is usually okay with, as long as you sequence your digivolving effects right, you can just pass over your opponent with like 1, maybe 2 memory, or general 3, just DNAing and doing other stuff. Now, if I had the Minimons, these would be missed memory boosts. I was trying to think of something else that could be useful in here with a red base. This was the only thing that I could think of. Unfortunately, it doesn't give me any extra memory, but it does let me draw 2. And if I've got, you know, a Dramon in there, you know, like Imperialdramon, who's actually literally pictured in the artwork right here, or Imperialdramon. No, I don't know why it's Dramon. That's how Digimon World Next Door says it. These would have been Death Claws, but I unfortunately don't have any copies of those right now for some reason. I don't know why. It must have been before I sold the purple stuff and started collecting Devimon stuff. But I think this is a nice substitute. Lets you draw 2. And again, if you got a Dramon out there, you could just pop a 4K or less, which also helps get rid of play cost blockers or play by effect blockers. And of course, the mandatory 1 Calling from Darkness, because this card should either be restricted or banned. One of the 2, never both. So anyways, guys, that's the Imperialdramon Virus deck profile, red-based. The only changes that are really going to happen are when we get the promo Minimon next month, I believe, is when it comes out. So that way the Wormmon can digivolve from 16 can digivolve for free, and that way we just put the missed memory boost back in there, because more milling is great. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications, and we'll catch you guys later.